Chai with Manjula presents NRI, A Closer Look, a special series that focuses on some of the key issues that affect Indo-Americans and NRIs and takes a close look at solutions and prevention as well. Welcome to Chai with Manjula. In the last two episodes, we discussed the challenges that lie ahead for the early immigrants from India in the US as they grow old. Now we'll focus on the other group of seniors in our community, the late immigrants who moved to the US to spend their golden years with their children and grandchildren. While some of them do get by and manage to lead a fulfilling life, many are caught between two cultures and find it difficult to navigate the system. They often feel isolated and helpless, as these clips will show.
We feel very isolated here due to lack of company.
One of the issues is isolation.
The transportation is a big problem for me.
My problem starts with the language. Though I know English, I cannot understand.
Now nobody asks your welfare here.
The children are grown, my daughter's working, grandchildren are busy. We miss them, we want to be close to them and we want to interact with them, but the opportunities are less.
The grandchildren, they become so busy, they do not find time except saying hello to us when they come and they go to their room.
Whenever I come over here, I am without any medical here. And that is quite scary.
And totally dependent upon son or daughter-in-law.
Today we'll take a close look at some of the challenges that elderly immigrants from India face and make some recommendations. NRI, A Closer Look, presented by Chai with Manjula and sponsored by the Tech Museum of Innovation, San Jose, California, a unique hands-on technology and science museum for people of all ages and backgrounds, which inspires innovations for the benefit of humanity. And Development Alternatives Group, a non-profit organization in India that brings together traditional knowledge and modern science for sustainable development at the community, national, and global level. My first guest is Dr. Anita Jhunjhunwala Mukherjee. Her doctoral dissertation is on parents who move from India to the US to reunite with their children, which has been now published as a book. It is titled Asian Indian Older Adults in Silicon Valley. Anita also serves on the advisory council of SourceWise, the area agency on aging for the Santa Clara County. Anita, welcome to Chai with Manjula.
My pleasure.
Well, your book is about the quality of life of seniors from India, and that's what we are discussing today. So you are a perfect guest for us.
Oh, thank you.
So tell us, what were your findings in terms of the challenges that this group of seniors faces when they move to the US?
So first and foremost, I must say that they face the same aging issues that other seniors face.
Okay.
And that is like the most important of that, amongst that is health and disability. But in my research, we focused on issues that arise because of late life immigration.
Okay.
Right? Because that's almost like, uprooting a large tree from one country to the other.
Very good. Very good analogy. Okay.
Yeah. So in that, the number one point is that, there is lack of autonomy or independence.
I see.
Right. So what I mean is like there are three sub-points within that. So for example, mobility.
Okay.
So they were very mobile in India, independently.
Right.
Right. But here, they don't have access to transportation.
They're totally dependent.
Yes, and so when we ask questions, do you have access to transportation here, right, almost 44% strongly disagreed. And comparatively, the same numbers for India was 1%.
Yeah, certainly. That's a big issue. Mobility is a big issue here.
Right. And the next point is finance. So, many of them may have some retirement income or some assets in India. So, that maybe will give them a reasonable life in India.
Yeah.
But when you come here, think about rupee-dollar exchange.
Right, when you convert it, it's not much.
Exactly. So, what we found was 89% were dependent on either their children or government.
Okay.
And by government, I mean SSI, Supplementary Security Income. So that's very big.
Right.
You know, it gives a sense of like, you know, takes away your independence. And the third point within that is language barrier. So we had an interesting discovery here. So you ask them, does language create a barrier in accessing services? Then almost 50% agreed or strongly agreed. But when you ask them, are you proficient in English? 59% said yes.
Yeah, because
There is this conflict, right? There is like, but
English here is different, the pronunciation is
Exactly.
different, accent is different.
So that's what
they find it hard to understand others, and others don't understand them. So
that
that's a
becomes-
communication problem.
exactly.
Right. So they are dependent in so many ways, for mobility, financially, for communication.
Absolutely.
Right.
The second point is social support. So once again, they had an independent social support in India, but not here.
Right.
So now they must depend either on their children or they must create a whole new circle of their own. Right? And if anybody who's able to do that, then life could be better.
Right.
But otherwise, there is huge social isolation.
Yeah, isolation is a
Right.
big problem.
Very big. And, you know, we asked, do you feel isolated in the US? 25% strongly agreed.
Yes.
And comparatively, were you isolated in India? Only 1%. So,
Very
right.
important finding.
Exactly. And then we directly asked, is your social support in US better than in India? So only 2% strongly agreed. So which is very clearly they
Right.
had a much richer social life in India.
Okay.
And you know, in the social relation, the other thing is about with family itself. So we found that for some seniors, there is this emotional distance with the family members, especially with the grandchildren.
Right. As the children grow.
Yeah, it's in a different culture.
Right.
Some of them don't speak the language also.
Absolutely.
So that is a big thing.
They're very close to grandchildren when they are little, but then slowly the distance comes.
And you must also see the family hierarchy. In India, they are at the top of family.
Yeah.
But here, that balance is broken.
I know, it's a reversal of roles. All of a sudden, their status changes, it drops.
Exactly.
When they come here.
And that is a big, you know, feeling.
Right. A big adjustment.
Absolutely. Then coming to the third point about challenges here is that they do have, they don't have knowledge about the services which are already available.
Right.
Okay, a lot of things are available like door-to-door, paratransit, etc. And the fourth point, this is very big, is about health and the insurance.
Yeah.
So, you know, Medicare, they're not eligible when they come here for 5 years.
Oh.
And then they must pay a very high premium because they have not paid Medicare taxes.
Right.
And then the other part is there is Medicaid, which is for low-income people, and that, you know, they don't get that. That just really varies from state to state because in California, permanent residents get it.
And
but
then
not-
on top of it, disability issues come in.
Yes,
Right.
right. So you need insurance. And the first, and the absolutely like moving to the fifth point, and most important is lack of meaningful role.
Yeah.
Right. So the feeling of being unneeded. So those are the challenges.
Very good findings. So do you also make any recommendations?
Sure, we need to build awareness in our community because only we have to do things for our seniors and ourselves.
Absolutely,
Right.
I agree.
Then we have to, you know, find representation in mainstream agencies like aging services, or we have to work with transport agencies. Out here it is outreach.
Okay.
Then we could advocate for services in Hindi because 48% in my research said that they were very comfortable, most comfortable language was
Okay.
Hindi. Then we can create directory of places where seniors meet because they don't just meet in senior centers. You know, they meet in
Right.
parks,
Yeah, that
street
would
corners.
be great. Yeah.
Yes. And then we have to educate the seniors about all this, you know, the services, etc.
Okay.
So those are some of the recommendations.
Okay, so now let's come back to your book. Who stands to benefit from it? Who should read this? Besides the seniors, who is your audience for the book?
Well, families who are planning to invite seniors.
Okay.
Then non-profit organizations, researchers, or agencies which want to work with this population. So in a nutshell, I would say either individuals or agencies which want to enhance the quality of life of these seniors.
Okay, wonderful. Sounds great. Thank you, Anita, so much for coming, and congratulations on publishing the book.
My pleasure. Entirely, Manjula. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Now it's time for a short break. We'll continue our conversation with another guest when we come back.
If you are planning on retiring to a warmer location, then it's important that you visit Shanti Niketan. Shanti Niketan is the only Indian retirement resort community in the U.S., a private and gated community located in sunny and peaceful Orlando, Florida. The best place for Indians to retire. Call now for more information.
Now announcing assisted living facility in Florida. Meetings for potential projects in Los Angeles, California on Saturday, June 28th, and in Phoenix, Arizona on July 13th. For information, please call 352-508-7060. Thank you.
Chai with Manjula presents NRI, A Closer Look. My next guest is Asha Chandra, Communications and Program Manager for the City of Fremont Human Services Department. Asha, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I believe the city of Fremont receives a lot of calls from seniors from India who are looking for important information. So first of all, tell us what kind of information are they looking for? What questions do they have?
So we at the city have a senior helpline, which I think actually many residents don't even know about. And a senior or their family could call in and ask for assistance in locating local resources and services.
Yeah, even I didn't know that.
Yeah. Our intake specialist helps the senior and or their family navigate through all of the available resources that are there in the community. And we do get many calls from Indian seniors, especially Indian immigrant seniors. And some of the needs, I guess the most common needs arise around transportation, locating low-income housing, also even around social isolation, finding maybe volunteer opportunities or employment opportunities. And then we do get many calls around learning about eligibility requirements for Social Security or health insurance.
Okay. You have brought us this guide, how to guide for immigrant seniors.
Yes.
So how do people find it? Is it available to buy or is it online? How do you get this?
So a few years ago at the City of Fremont, we actually produced this guide. And it is available online on our Community Ambassador Program for Seniors website, so anybody can access it through the website.
Okay. And it has all the information that seniors are looking for?
Yes, so it has information for anybody, not just immigrants, but there are certain things more applicable to immigrants, such as even locating, how to get a driver's license, how to purchase a car, how to open a bank account, along with all of the other things such as locating the housing or transportation and so forth.
Okay, so can it be helpful for seniors outside of Fremont also?
It would be a good place to start, just to get a sense of what kinds of issues there are, what kinds of needs there are in the community. Most of it is catered towards our local community, but if people need to find those types of services, many of them are available across the country.
Okay, so give us the website. Where do you find this?
So this is found on www.capsseniors.org.
Okay, CAPS, and that's a program that you lead in Fremont, and I believe it's a nationally recognized program. So tell us about that.
Yes, so the Community Ambassador Program was actually started through a grant that the City of Fremont received a few years ago. And the idea was that most seniors, let alone especially immigrant seniors, don't come to the government as their first place to, when they need help. They don't think about the government for coming to help. But where they do go are places where they normally congregate, such as their churches, temples, community centers. Mm-hmm. So the idea with the program was to come up with a model where we train local volunteers and we train them about local services and programs and resources available, and then they in turn take those programs back to those places where the seniors congregate. So it's been wonderful because the seniors are able to get the information they need in the language that they're familiar with.
Okay, so how is the program going? How many places or centers are using your services?
So we have partnered with over 12 organizations, ethnic and faith-based organizations from the Chinese community, the Afghan community, and many Indian communities, the Punjabi community. There's a Muslim Pakistani community and so forth. And our goal is to train these volunteers. We have a training every couple of years, and then they go through a intensive training process where they become a certified community ambassador, and then we have ongoing training for them throughout the year where they actually go out and do outreach events in their own communities.
Sounds like a great model. And how can other counties copy it?
Anybody is welcome to call me and learn more about the program. I would be very happy to share that with them. We also have developed a curriculum around this that we sell for a nominal fee. That was actually developed in conjunction with Dr. Sadhna Divan. And
she's going to be my guest next time, actually.
And San Jose Education Geriatric Center. So the curriculum is available, and if other communities would like to replicate it, which some have already, it's really been a win-win situation for not only the seniors, the volunteers themselves. They've learned so much. They feel like they're giving back. The volunteers are also working with the government and local agencies. So if something isn't working, they're the first ones to tell the government or our local agencies that, let's modify it.
Right, so they're like a bridge between the seniors and the county.
And the county.
Okay. I know you are from the city of Fremont. So what are some of the typical programs that seniors can expect in Fremont? Some resources or benefits?
Yeah, so we at the city actually have a number of amazing and wonderful programs, again, that I think many people don't know about. We offer a senior peer counseling program where seniors get trained to work with other seniors. We have a caregiver support program. We have a mobile mental health program where they actually go to your home for some mental health services. We have our whole entire paratransit program. Beyond the paratransit, one of the things that they've offered is something called travel training, where they offer travel training workshops on how to use the public system in their own language. So they've actually trained in Hindi, Punjabi, Gujarati. So, they're trying to figure out how to utilize the existing services that we already have.
So a local area agency will be providing some of these services anywhere in the country?
Yes, I think if a senior needed to find some services, the best place would be to either go to their local senior center or log into the Area Agency on Aging, which is a federally funded organization. So anybody can look up their local Area Agency on Aging nationally and figure out what's available.
What are some of the agencies which are nationwide?
There are most of these agencies, such as caregiver support or our paratransit, are available nationwide. There's an organization that we work with very closely here called Life Elder Care, and they run the Meals on Wheels program, which is again a nationwide program. And they offer, the Meals on Wheels program, they offer a friendly visitors program to come once a week to offer help and assistance, just keep companionship. They offer a VIP rides program for seniors. They even offer a 12-week in-house exercise program. So there's just many, many programs available, not only locally, but nationally.
So you've certainly done a great job there, and I hope other cities can also follow your model.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Asha, for coming and for sharing all this information.
Thank you.
The challenges that the elderly from India face are real. But we have to bear in mind that this is the first generation of aging parents coming from India. So the community is caught somewhat unprepared. And that young parents in the US also do not have the kind of support system that we have in India. So to address the situation, we need a two-pronged approach. One, to take advantage of the resources offered by our local mainstream agencies and encourage them to tailor their programs in a culturally sensitive manner for elderly Indian immigrants. And we discussed that part today. The other part is for the Indian communities across the country to create programs for the elderly. And in our next episode, we'll look at a few very successful models which can be replicated in other cities as well. Welcome to our special segment, Technology Benefiting Humanity. My guest today is Prinda Vanakul, the Educational Programs Manager at the Tech Museum of Innovation in San Jose, California. Prinda, good to see you.
Thank you for having me today.
Well, tell us about the educational programming at the Tech and your role there.
Well, my role is to, of course, manage, but also develop some of the educational programs we have going on at the Tech. So it can span from programs on the museum floor to booked workshops ahead of time. And a lot of our programs are just about trying to get people involved with their hands-on learning, making and doing, learning by doing really, and building creative confidence.
Okay. And I know summer must be a very busy time for you. Kids are off and people are, visitors must be pouring in. So what kind of special programs do you have for summer?
Well, summer is one of the most exciting times at the Tech. So we have a lot of special programs going on this summer. For one, we've got a special exhibit going on only through the summer called Reboot Music. And we are also hosting Maker Corps members from the Maker Education Initiative.
Okay.
So these Maker Corps members are actually trained by Maker Education, and we are their host site. And they come onto our site and they just really activate the museum. So they do a lot of drop-in programs, free with museum admission, where visitors can really start tinkering, playing with some educational technology tools. And it's also very low-tech at times as well. So again, the concept of learning by making, learning by doing.
Okay, so is it mostly the kids who are enjoying it, or it's for all ages?
No, you know, it's for all ages. I love it when adults come down to the Tech and do some of the programs alongside some of the kids.
Okay, so tell us more about it. Give us some examples.
So every week at Makerspace looks different at the Tech, but some of my favorite activities have involved things like paper engineering, which is somewhat of a structural engineering design challenge. It's very fun because you get to use just only paper, just rolls of paper and masking tape to create a structure. Say we're trying to create a structure to protect your coffee cup here. And then we're going to drop very heavy weights on top and then see how well your structure withstands all of that weight.
Wow, what else?
Another one of my favorite programs is actually working with something called squishy circuits, and we're trying to tie that in right now with our music exhibit. So it's going to be squishy circuit bending. So what you do is you actually dissect open these, a lot of these musical toys that you can buy from toy stores, and we're using conductive mediums and conductive wires to bridge a couple of the circuits together and make very interesting noises and see what other kinds of otherworldly music you can make doing squishy circuit bending.
Okay, sounds very interesting.
You know, another thing we have going on besides Makerspace that's just free with museum admission for all visitors to take part in is our hands-on science workshop. So that's open every single day, but it's only at certain hours of the day, so you'll want to check ahead online before coming. But what we're running this summer in the hands-on science workshop is called the Midi Music Box. The Midi Music Box is super fun. It's, can you imagine those old mechanical crank sort of music boxes where you'll turn the handle and it'll play the music?
Right,
so we've created a digital version of that. So what you're doing is you're taking a sheet of paper and you're putting conductive tape on it, and your conductive tape actually creates a circuit to interact with our music box. So then when you put it on our player and you crank it, you've created your own new musical masterpiece.
Okay, and all these are your special summer programs?
Yes, this is only running through the summer, so you better come on down to the Tech soon.
Right, they're very exciting. I'm sure the visitors will have lots of fun this summer.
Yes, I'm sure they will. We'd love to have everybody come down.
So thank you very much, Brenda, for coming and telling us about it.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back. Sometime or another, we all have heard that time is precious. But do we treat it as a precious commodity? Let's hear what Jessie Kaur has to say about it.
Welcome to Reflections with Jessie. Today, our topic is time, that thing with wings. A legend goes that one day, Guru Nanak, world teacher and founder of the Sikh faith, asked Mardana, a Muslim sage who was his constant companion, "My friend, can you venture a guess as to how long we have to live?" It's a question that many of us wonder about. How much time do we have left in the world? As Guruji's companion, Mardana was a very wise man. "I have no idea, my Guru. All that I know is that I've seen the sunrise today. I'm not sure if I will see it tomorrow." The Guru smiled and said, "You take a lot for granted, my friend." Mardana was perplexed. What was the Guru trying to tell him? How much time did he have left? "Please help me understand how long I have to live." The Guru said, "We are beings who are assured of just one breath, the one we have taken. We have no idea when we are going to depart. Let us pray that we serve the one who has accorded us the life-bestowing breath." As human beings, we go through life thinking we have all the time in the world to sort out our affairs, to do what is meaningful to us. But before we know it, it'll all be over. Time, my friends, is a very precious commodity. Once lost, it is lost forever. If we are lucky, we are able to recover from our misfortunes. Life often gives us second chances. Many people lost their fortune in the stock market crash, but the market did bounce back. A bad marriage can be fixed with counseling and tender loving care. People who get divorced often meet someone new, get married, and are happier. Even failing health is recoverable with timely intervention, right diet, and exercise. But time can never be recovered, regained, or retrieved. Once lost, it is gone forever. And time is something we are quite casual about, especially when we are younger. Most of us waste time in useless activities. These days, emails, Facebook, texts, tweets, they've all become mega distractions and they suck up our time. I've often heard highly successful people say that they account for every minute of their day. They make a daily schedule in which they account for everything they're going to do, and they get it done. That's why you often hear people say, if you need to get something done, give it to someone who's busy. Busy people know how to manage their time. Set your goals, make your lists, prioritize, know what you want to achieve every day. Don't lose precious moments of your life. Who knows how long we have to live? Let each moment matter. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay in high spirits, Chardi Kala, always.
We thank Jessie Kaur for sharing that beautiful message with us. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us. For Chai with Manjula, I'm Manjula Gupta. I'll see you again after 2 weeks.